Welcome to the School of Wordcraft and Worldmancy. This is Feedback Frenzy.
Hello, I'm WriterGreg. Welcome to the School of Worldcraft and Worldmancy. It is time for a Feedback Frenzy, where you can submit your 1,500 words of fiction or a world-building article at wgc.bz/submit. And during the next live stream, we will go ahead and provide some feedback. Today's article that we are going to be looking at is from Dazzlinkat, and it is the Jolly Ho article. This is a shipwright challenge from 2021 for World Anvil. Sorry. All right, so let's go ahead and start reviewing the article. And I'm going to zoom out so we can take a look at it. Okay, looks pretty straightforward. We've got some good images here. It looks like we have some fiction to start off, a sidebar. Okay. Now, let's reset to 100. Now, I've mentioned this before. I love these kind of pictures. I love these headers. They really set the mood, but it doesn't follow the rule of above the fold and below the fold. When I came to this page, I had no idea what it was. I have no idea if I could scroll down. It just looks like a very pretty picture. Now, I know there's content down here, but looking at this, oh, it's a pretty picture, like opening the image in a new tab. What's the difference between this and this? Unfortunately, not much. So while I do love the ambiance that this picture is portraying, and we'll see if it matches the article, it unfortunately is so tall that it blocks the idea or the title of the page. So again, that's something I think needs to be addressed. Now, let's see. Before we zoom in, let's look at a Cregan-made jolly boat. And just now we'll get to it at the end. No, we'll do it now because I'm not sure if it'll be important to the rest of the article that I need to be able to see this. A jolly boat is the smallest boat carried on board a sailing ship if used at sea. It serves as a common fishing boat or traveling boat when used on inland waters. This latter use has risen into great popularity. The master shipbuilder Cregan has taken to making several with magical enchantments. A Cregan-made jolly boat is 18 feet long and clinker built. Hull planks overlap each other for a tight fit. Oh, good use of a tooltip. Another structural feature of these jolly boats is the 1-foot deep keel blade extending along the bottom of the boat. This blade gives the jolly boat great stability on the high waves, making it a very seaworthy little vessel. Keel blade. Okay. I'm learning a lot as I read these things. The main magical feature of the Cregan-built jolly boat has 4 sets of oars that row themselves. They must be first set into their oarlocks, then commanded by the owner. Interesting. For a greater price, Cregan will add an unbreakable mast along with a windy sail. Both of these can be detached and stowed until needed. When set up, the windy sail provides its own wind. Awesome! The more unfurled the sail, the more wind will fill it. This is why the unbreakable mast is needed. At full sail, the wind from the sail is so strong it can break any normal mast that would otherwise fit on a jolly. Wow. As the owner of a Cregan-made jolly boat, all the owners, okay, let me read the whole sentence before I decide if the plural is correct or not. All the owner of a Cregan-made jolly boat needs to do is sit in the stern seat and command the boat where they want it to go. One last feature Cregan provides, at an even greater cost, is a warding enchantment. This warding will never kill, though it might harm any thief or unwanted boarders. This mischievous ward is based on wild magic provided by House Tamblikir of the Bardican Elves. Okay, so going back to this sentence, all the owner of a Cregan-made jolly boat needs to do. So that is technically a grammatically correct sentence that we do. Okay, it did throw me off, but yeah, that's it. All right, so let's go back here at the top. What do you mean he refused it? Cregan fumed at his second cousin's youngest daughter, Garabella. It was her job to see to the completion of all boat sails. She was usually very good at it. I put all the enchantments he asked for in it. I'm sorry, Master Carrillo, Garabella replied. But he did that. It's not to my liking bit. With a lot of dramatic flair, people do. With a lot of dramatic flair, people do when they're too broke to pay for what they wanted. Carrillo grunted with a scowl. You really can't pay? No, Garabella said. I had to do some extensive digging, but I have discovered that he was recently swindled on his last venture. See if you can find another buyer for it before sending it home. I will do that, Master Carrillo, Gabriella promised. Suddenly poor nobles. Wow, what an interesting title for that photograph. Okay. You know, husband, those greedy gnomes will just sell that boat to Pearl Shore, Lady Drusilla said to Lord Morton Siltsholes. If I could just sell that boat myself, I could pay off the gnomes and leave us a tidy profit. Then get it back, husband. Lord Siltsholes flashed her a wicked grin. Oh, very good, wife. I will get it back. I know just the fools to hire for a mere promise of getting paid. All right, he's a jerk. Well done. Let's reset that. Okay, so the reason why I want to reset this, I like the two little vignettes here, but there's two vignettes. It's two separate things. So it's a little, yes, this is a vignette. This is a vignette. And at the regular zoom, which is why the reason why I zoomed out, I could see the placement of it, and that makes a little bit more sense. However, when I was reading, I saw this picture first, then I read this, and I was going, wow, Carrillo and Gabriella are very familiar with each other. You know, I thought it was a picture of those two, but it makes a lot more sense when you have it with this portion and the picture. So I am a little bit concerned that you have two stories here that are unique from each other, separate settings, separate characters, and I'm not sure which one the picture goes to until I've read all of them. So that's a little bit. I like the two of them. I think they're well written, but it's the presentation of the two that makes it a little confusing. But a good introduction. And it's a really good photo. Merrill and Darrell, after a tragic attempt at highway robbery, decided to take the offer from Lord Siltsholes. I gotta be so careful when I say that name. All they had to do was steal a boat from some puny little gnomes and bring it to Lord Siltsholes' private dock to get paid. What could be easier? Merrill and Darrell. That very night, as the moon shone bright, they watched the town clocks. Merrill, Darrell whispered. Them gnomes have left. It'll be a good bit until a guard comes by. Merrill climbed down from the tree they had hidden in to spy on the Pearl Shore's docks. He stretched and yawned. Let's get it, Darrell. That is another pretty picture. Now, ain't that a purty sight, Merrill? Darrell asked as he stood admiring the jolly boat. Why, it even has a mast and sail we can use stead of rowing all them miles to Silt Shoals. Merrill grunted and stepped aboard the jolly boat. He began setting the oars in their oarlocks, then tucking them neatly back into the boat. We don't need all them oars, Darrell said as he finished setting up the mast and sail. Yeah, well, I wanna have oars in the best rowing spot, and I don't know which is best. Okay, I'm sorry. I love the voices here, but it's hard to make up voices and read at the same time. You take the frontmost set, and I'll take the backmost till we're away from town and can use the sail. Merle was the first to find his seat. Darrell hopped off the boat to untie them from the dock. Jumping back into the boat, he shoved hard against the dock. The boat drifted away. Okay, to untie them. It is a little bit confusing because this is a separate sentence. Them could very easily refer to Merrill and Darrell, but within this sentence, Darrell hopped off the boat to untie them from the dock. This sentence, in its own, I think, what does them refer to? In context of the larger paragraph, I can understand that the them refers to Merrill and Darrell, but in the sentence, he's not untying Merrill. He's not untying Darrell. He's untying the boat. So Darrell hopped off the boat to untie it from the dock. So we got to be, yes, in the larger context, it makes sense, but in the sentence level, also, are Merrill and Darrell tied up, or was it the boat that was tied up? Yeah. I mean, it makes sense if you're referring to Merrill, Darrell, and the boat in its collective, and you're using them to refer to all three of them, yeah, you can get away with that. But I think for simplicity and clarity, for quickly reading without having to parse the word, I would untie it from the dock. Let's row. And he said and moved to the seat at the last set of oars. Heaving a put upon sigh, Merrill set his oars on the water. Before he could start to row, the oars twitched in his hands. Suddenly, Merrill was flung out of the boat. Ah! Psh! Merrill! Darrell called out. He quickly set his oars in the water and tried to row the boat over to Merrill. Ah! Psh! He, too, was flung into the water. Sputtering up to the surface, Darrell saw the sail loosened and was dropping down. It was starting to catch the wind. Merrill, catch the boat before the wind takes it. The two swam hard and managed to crawl back in over the stern. An oar swung inward and smacked into Merrill when he tried to stand, knocking him down on top of Darrell. The wind filled the fully open sail and the boat lurched, picking up speed. Darrell, Merrill squeaked in a whiny whisper from where they lay on the floor of the boat. This boat's got spooks. Darrell, who was watching the sail, turned this way and that as it steered the boat, grimly nodded. It's demon-possessed, he whimpered back. The sounds of a waterfall grew louder as the boat carried them along. When the sounds became a roar, they heard the warbling call of a very near river lion. Oh no, Merrill cried out in terror. River lions could kill and eat a man enough to be in their waters. River lions could kill and eat a man fool enough to be in their waters. The sail furled up with a snap. The boat suddenly slowed. The oars swung in again and began battering them until both men were flung overboard. Spsh, psh. Emptied of its unwanted passengers, the boat began to row back to the dock. The falls! The falls! Daryl yelled. Swim over to the falls, Merrill, so we don't get ate by lions. Bawling in terror, Merrill swam for the falls behind Daryl. The water grabbed them and pulled them over. Ah! Both men screamed until they hit the water below. Moments later, Merrill crawled out on the shore. 20 feet beyond him, Daryl struggled out, coughing up water. At the top of the falls, outlined by a bright moonlight, a male river lion twisted his head this way and that as he looked down at them. He let out another warbling call. Both men swore was a laugh. To heck with silt shoals, Merrill swore. I'm done with rivers. Me too, Merrill, Daryl agreed. He was walking along the bank from the waterfall. Let's get out of here. Merrill and Daryl never returned to the town of Silt Shoals and Pearl Shore. Lord and Lady Silt Shoals eventually regained some of their lost wealth. They bitterly watched Lord Pearl Shore travel around in the Cregan-built jolly boat he has since named the Lady Lion. Okay, so I will admit, I am glad that I read the sidebar first. But this is a good set of fiction. The sidebar has all of the details about the boat, enough information to make it enjoyable. But then we had this really fun story here of the adventures of Merrill and Daryl, and I hope the voices were okay, and the gremlins, and then the royals. Okay, so here's the situation now. So we have scene 1, we have scene 2, and then we have all of the stuff down here between Merrill and Daryl. And then we have an epilogue. So the content of this article, I think, was very well done. It's all formatting. I was expecting, per normal conventions that I see across World Anvil, when you start a story, your article with a story, you have it like this. And then all of the stuff afterwards is then just factual information like we got in the Jolly Boat sidebar. But I don't know. I just think that, don't put everything in the highlight, because then nothing's highlighted. If you highlight everything, nothing's highlighted. But I think you could just rephrase this or rework this and just have it be a fun fiction article. I liked the bars here to separate time. And you could take this out of here, and you could just have the pictures with the bars like this. We have, the very nice pictures of the Pearl Shore and the moon on the river, the brigands, Merrill and Daryl. Okay, I like the thing there. The barking lion, river lion, I think was funny, mocking them. But so the only concerns that I have about this is presentation. I think you could reformat this and help. I don't know if there's a way to help prepare us to know, hey, this is going to be mostly fiction, or this is going to be a story, as opposed to the nonfiction stuff over the side. Yeah. But I like it. Fun article. So thank you so much, Dazzlinkat, for sharing this article with me. I am really appreciative of you being willing to submit your world building or fiction here at the Feedback Frenzy. If you too would like to have your content critiqued and reviewed, please go ahead and visit wgc.bz/submit, where you can submit all of the content and information so it too can be critiqued on a future Feedback Frenzy. Thank you so much. Have a great day, and until next time, keep on reading.
Thanks for watching this Feedback Frenzy. Be sure to show your support by liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and clicking the notification bell. WriterGreg offers coaching sessions to help bring your world to life, create compelling stories, and accomplish your creative goals. Please visit wgc.bz/coaching for more details.